After 9 years, does the Prime Minister care that 42,000 Canadians have died from drug overdose? Taxpayer-funded supply of hard drugs has destroyed lives. Addiction workers confirm that most users of so-called safe supply are diverting these drugs into the hands of organized crime. Criminals are selling these drugs to children. Overdose is the #1 cause of death in 10 to 17-year-olds in BC. When will this Prime Minister end this dangerous drug trafficking experiment that profits Big Pharma and kills children?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, that question has been asked and answered. But I'll tell you what hasn't been answered, Mr. Speaker, that deeply concerns Canadians.
You just won't answer the question.
It is that over the past few weeks, we have seen the leader of the Conservative Party openly associate with white supremacists and refuse multiple opportunities to disavow their views. Then we saw him advocate an a la carte charter of rights and say he would pick which rights people have. And today we learned one right they do not support, a woman's right to choose. This is deeply concerning, Mr. Speaker. Canadians have a right to know.
Hear, hear. That's not what they said.
Although the members were relatively restrained, it's difficult for the Speaker to hear the answer if there are discussions going on, if people would like me to be very mindful of terms of what the question is saying. The Honourable Member from South Surrey, White Rock.
Thank you. Well, Canadians have the right to know when the RCMP are sounding the alarm why organized crime is getting their hands on these so-called safe supply drugs and diverting them. Thousands of these Big Pharma government pills have been seized. Organized crime is profiting from selling taxpayer-funded drugs to children. And no, this has not been answered yet today. But the NDP Liberal government is refusing to release the contracts that distribute these drugs. Canadians deserve to know how and why their money's being used. When will the Prime Minister release the Big Pharma contracts? Just the date, please.
Good question.
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, that question has been asked and answered. But I'll tell you what the Conservatives really don't want to answer. They don't want to answer why their leader openly flirts with white supremacists and refuses several opportunities to disavow them. They don't want to answer why their leader openly talks about an a la carte charter of rights. And today was the big reveal, Mr. Speaker, that one of the rights they're going to take away is a woman's right to choose. But we will not let them.
L'honorable député de Charlebourg-Haute.
The Honourable Member for Charlebourg-Haute-Saint-Charles. Mr. Speaker, hard drug use has become commonplace in the Montreal Metro. There's assault, drug use and homelessness, and it's a scourge in the Metro. Riders feel unsafe. It's as if everything that's happening on the surface, the housing crisis, inflation, the opioid crisis, mental health problems, is causing repercussions in Montreal's underground. Can the Prime Minister guarantee that he will ignore the Bloc's calls and not decriminalise hard drugs in Quebec? The Honourable Minister of Global Affairs. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, colleagues have asked this question countless times, and it's been answered countless times. The Leader of the Opposition won his leadership race by ensuring that he had the votes of Maxime Bernier supporters and extreme right supporters, as well as those who are against abortion. Those people voted for him. Now he refuses to condemn white supremacists and their ideas. He is here, and one of his members is in fact making anti-abortion statements right here on the floor of this place.
The Honourable Member from Brampton South.
Mr. Speaker, this is a mental health week, and in a rapidly changing world, strong mental supports for youth is essential. By working with my youth council and stakeholders, I know mental health challenges faced by young people. There are many organizations doing incredible work to make sure youth do not fall through the cracks. Can the Minister of Mental and Addiction tell us what we are doing to support community organization across the country in delivering more mental
Liberals
health
asking a Liberal a
care
question.
options for youth. Good question.
The Honourable Minister for Mental Health and Addictions.
I want to thank the honourable member for her question. Yes, Mr. Speaker, youth are facing real challenges right now at home, in school, and as they start their careers. Their mental health can suffer, and community organizations like the South Asian Canadian Health and Social Services in the members' riding are such a lifeline for support. We're creating a first-of-its-kind youth mental health fund to deliver more mental health supports and care choices for youth and communities across this country. We know they need it. We will be there for them. We're investing in Kids Help Phone and the Mental Health Black Canadians Fund because we know we need to meet people where they are. Mental health is health.
The Honourable Member from St. Albert, Edmonton.
Speaker, at committee, the Minister of Employment claimed that he had been cleared by the Ethics Commissioner to receive payments from Navis Group, a firm owned by his business partner that was lobbying his own department, except that that isn't true. The Office of the Ethics Commissioner has indicated that they were unaware of the Minister's connection to Navis Group. So why did the Minister claim that he was cleared when clearly he had not been cleared? Why did the Minister mislead committee?
I got that clip. That clip's coming out soon. Yeah, come on. Get Randy to stand up.
House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Minister has answered these questions many times, and the Minister, of course, complies with all of the very stringent requirements of the Conflicts and Ethics Commissioner. What that member needs to answer is how will he approach this new a la carte rights campaign by the Leader of the Opposition. Which of the rights in the Charter of Rights, 42 years old, Mr. Speaker, is this member intending to take away? We know the Conservatives have always hated the Charter of Rights.
No,
Mr.
they
Speaker,
haven't.
which rights will they be taking away?
Excellent.
The Honourable Member from St. Albert, Edmonton.
Mr. Speaker, the Minister actively concealed his connection to Navis Group, hiding behind a numbered company. As a result, the Ethics Commissioner could not have known that the Minister's business partner was lobbying his own department. If there are no ethical issues with the Minister's connection to Navis Group, as the Minister claims, then why did he hide it from the Ethics Commissioner?
Yeah, come on, Randy. Get Randy to stand up. He won't stand
the
up and
Honourable
answer.
Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservatives are quite understandably taking this very red herring to try and distract from a very bad couple of weeks. What they have done is refused.
If you are an MP, you should not be allowed to have a business that does dealings with the government. But I guess Trudeau, with his Trudeau Foundation, has taught his Liberal Party members how to do stuff like that.
Allow the Honourable Minister to finish his question. He's about 24 seconds left on the clock.
The Conservatives are quite understandably trying to distract from the fact that they refused to tell white supremacists that their support is unwelcome in the Conservative Party. They're trying to distract from the fact, Mr. Speaker, that they have always hated the Charter of Rights. They have always hated a woman's right to choose. They have always hated the right to free expression in this country. They need to stand up and explain themselves.
You guys are the ones that hate free expression. That's why you shut the trucker convoy down. That's why you freeze the bank accounts. That's why.
Saskatchewan.
Mr. Speaker, behold, the ghost of Paul Martin is back. When a government is drowning, they will grasp onto anything, but they continue to sink nonetheless. Now, Mr. Speaker, 6 years ago, the House and the government voted to list the IRGC as a terrorist organization and therefore prevent them from fundraising, recruiting, or operating in Canada. 6 years later, this terrorist group continues to operate here with impunity. Tomorrow, the House will vote again. Will this NDP Liberal government finally do what they failed to do 6 years ago and vote to shut down IRGC operations in Canada?
The Honourable Minister for Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, as my colleague knows very well, decisions to list certain entities on the terrorist listing under Canada's Criminal Code are made based on the advice of security and intelligence services. We do acknowledge, and I think all Canadians understand, that the Iranian regime is one of the worst state sponsors of terrorism. We have taken a number of measures to deal with leaders in the Iranian regime, and we're always looking, Mr. Speaker, at what further steps we can take to protect Canadians.